your host, saltwater fisherman, the man that fears no fish, bass daddy and tournament pro, Don McDowell.
Yeah, man. Hey, I'm Don McDowell. Welcome to Shake, Rattle, and Troll, the Sunday edition. We do it on Sunday because
it's the only day they let us do it.
Can't do it on Wednesday.
Nope.
In the house with us, as always, our co-host, John J. Colazar.
Morning, Bass Daddy.
Yep, president of the what is that? The United
Gypsy Federation.
Okay, that's cool. That's cool. We have some special guests today. Captain Kelly. I want to introduce him. Former U.S. Marine Corps Vietnam veteran. Thank you for coming down. Thank you for your service, and I'm honored to have you here, Captain.
You're welcome. Thank you.
That's good stuff. And you drug this guy around, Roger Williams. What's the relationship here?
He's my inspiration for this deal. We met, and that's the relationship. He's an incredible man.
Okay,
and,
now let's get this pecking order correctly. Are you more inspired by a lieutenant, a master sergeant, or a captain?
Sergeant Major, actually.
Well, okay.
Yeah. And Sergeant Major Sam Reginald couldn't be here today, but he's involved in helping a lot. So.
Yeah, we know who runs the military.
Yeah, exactly.
Those sergeants. We're going to talk about their special event. Love the name, the Band of Brothers, coming up in Payson. Let's talk a little bit about that. What's your date?
23rd, 24th, 25th, and then, of course, Memorial Day's on Sunday. That's when it will end.
Of May?
Yes, of May, next month.
Nice.
Next month, right at the Rodeo Grounds, or the Payson Multi-Event Center now, it's called.
That's Rodeo Grounds.
Right.
No, it's not. I crawled around in the mud out there. That is a multi-purpose event arena.
And it's coming back to mud again right after us.
Well, I know. I'll be there that week.
J.K. did just a wonderful job. He did. I mean, this guy's trained to go from the, why he doesn't have a quad is beyond me. He likes to walk and hike from the north rim to the south rim and back again and all that. I'm trying to, they have mules. They have helicopters. He has sneakers. I'm just saying.
It wouldn't be bad, except, Karen, who is best friend, works for me. We've been together for 7 years. She does rim to rim to rim, and she does it in under 30 hours. And she's older than me.
What?
Yep. So put that in your sneakers and think about it.
No.
That's 52 miles. She does it in under 30 hours.
I've had 4 trips on the mules. I will stay with the mules.
They go so slow.
In one trip in the Boy Scouts, we found... we had a day camp down at Indian Gardens, and as Boy Scouts are pretty inquisitive, we found a little cave with blasting caps in it. Boy, did we get in trouble.
Oh, yeah.
We didn't light one. We didn't know what they were, but, we had our little fire starter thing trying to light the wire.
Wrong place to be doing that.
Yeah, anyway, that's all good. We'll get the details on the Band of Brothers. We'll be talking to Donnie McBride at the 8 o'clock. There was a murder that we'll tell you about over at Roosevelt Resort last week.
A goose murder. Please specify that.
It was a murder nonetheless.
You're going to have everybody panic to go out there, and it's really but it is a goose murder. We'll leave it at that.
Swan goose, to be precise. Chinese
swan goose.
It was a hate crime. I'm going to leave it go at that. Bobby Wright, president of the ACCA. We're going to be talking to Bobby. We're fighting SRP on lake levels. They're draining. Bartlett Lake, the marina is about 15 feet from being in the mud. Bobby has something to say about that. And
gee, there's a surprise. And
then at the 8:30 we have the Rim Country Fishing Report, at which time we're going to tell you about the Florida strain bass, about 500,000 of the little boogers that went into Roosevelt Lake on the restoration program. A couple of quick things on the commissioner meeting. You went
yesterday.
And
yesterday was basically the hunt approval for the guidelines for this coming season for desert bighorn, sheep, bear, turkey, buffalo, deer.
On your hike up Mount Ord, have you thought about putting some bacon grease on the soles of your sneakers?
That would be a wonderful idea. I was hoping that you were going to take Big Sexy and meet me up at the top. You drive up and I'll walk up to the bottom.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I think you missed the part, and I want to publicly commend Commissioner Davis for suggesting we have a new hunt unit. Unit 48 in the Grand Canyon National Park for the bison.
You know, we have all these extra bison. You know what's going to happen, Don? They're going to bring in basically assassins who are going to whack the buffalo herd from the 350 that they have now when they're supposed to have an optimum. They're going to come in, they're going to shoot them. And why couldn't they let hunters do that?
That's what Commissioner Davis is headed for.
That's a very appropriate
We're
question.
going to manage and harvest and chow down.
Chow down?
Yeah.
I mean, you're talking some
it.
prime meat.
That's good stuff.
Yeah.
Tatanka. But it just, something occurred to me. They've been buffalo all of my life. When did they become bison?
At the turn of the century.
Is that
the 1900s, they were, supposedly called bison.
No. We've always called them buffalo.
Well, you and I have.
And now it's like Rapala has been Rapala, but now it's Rapala. What? Anyway. All right, back to you, Captain. Let's hear a little bit, if you're comfortable with it, on your military background, if you would, sir.
I started out as an enlisted man in 1968, 67. Went up through the ranks, did a process called Request Mass, and said I could do a better job than the people that were leading me after I'd been in about 4 months. Got selected, went to OCS, got a commission, and ended up by Tet of 69 back in a place called Vietnam, Firebase Russell. Most no one's ever heard of it. Crazy night. And then stayed in the Marine Corps for about 13 years. Between overseas tours, I'd come back to Camp Pendleton and train the sniper recon school. I was in charge of that.
My man.
During the 70s. I have a little training background. When I was a child, I grew up in southern Illinois. We made a living hunting, trapping, and fishing. And that's how we lived. And then the Marine Corps and law enforcement, 23 years over in California. And got paralyzed in 2007 and fought back where I walk funny, but I'm out of bed in a wheelchair. And over here in Chino Valley, loving it. Got a little ranch, some horses, dogs, cats, and assorted pound critters.
Nice.
And met Roger, and we both have the common goal of helping the veterans, which always helping that. And so our cause is Band of Brothers Festival, Veterans to Help Veterans, and our big goal is VA, Veterans Anonymous, a place where someone that wants to talk can talk.
Without fear of reprisals and without any
right.
kind of intervention from
Feel
anybody
free,
else.
man. This is all for you. Let's hear it.
Yeah, and so the concept here is that any time a veteran reports into under the new Obamacare, in the laws, they always ask the people somewhere in that routine interview with that first medical, they're going to hit the question, how many weapons do you have? Where are they? And of course, that's none of your business, or for old guys, I can't remember.
Cool. I like that.
And then the mental health, what happens is, if the young veterans, which is really maybe in more need than us old guys, is the fact that they go in to report all their issues from PTSD, or even if it's not declared PTSD, the current battles that we send our young troops to, there is no front line. Anywhere, anytime, it can happen.
Asymmetrical
and the
warfare.
The psychological impact of never knowing. You're always on edge. People don't really understand that, and they think a lot of us are crazy because certain things will just trigger us, When I first came back from Vietnam, I was in Chicago. A car backfired. It was in the middle of winter. I hit the ground, rolled under a car, and I was in a suit and trench coat.
Nice.
You have enough go off, you will always do that.
Yeah. And even
doesn't matter.
I've been saved sometimes by, I've said this, the change in the atmospheric pressure in your ears when a round goes off, before you hear the sound, before it gets there, it's that millisecond that'll either keep you alive or dead. This is a personal thought, but that's my belief.
It's a good one.
He's still here. A lot of people aren't.
Must work.
Yep.
God rest all those
How
brothers.
long, Captain, did you serve in Vietnam? What was your tour length?
Okay, the first time I was there about 3-4 months, and got out of Quezon there in May 26th, 1968. Made OCS June 4th, straight through, still looking dirty, nasty, no proper uniforms. Made it through OCS, got to visit the White House and met a lot of people there during the winter of 68, and then back to TET 69, Firebase Russell in February.
Wow.
In March, and then I was there until November when the 3rd Marine Division was removed. In about September, from being a platoon commander out in the field all the time, I got assigned as the embark officer to get the 4th Marine Regiment out of Vietnam back to Okinawa. We spent Marine Corps birthday in a typhoon out in the ocean.
Oh, nice. What ship were you on?
The Dubuque.
Alrighty then. Okay, hold that thought more with Captain Kelly and Roger and Special K.
Special.
I'm stunned. No bear spray today?
Bear spray's in the car.
Alrighty, hey, we're going to thank some of our sponsors, including Bill Luke Chrysler Jeep, Dodge Ram, where it's always truck month. I'm Don McDowell. We'll be right back.
Fireman.
Oh, that's my name.
That's it, folks. JK runs on Duncan. Wow. Easy, boy.
By the way, real quick today, Senior, John J. Colazar Sr. turns 92 today.
God love him. Happy birthday, Senior.
Happy birthday, Dad.
How many?
92.
Wow.
Wow.
Very cool.
You and I won't make it. Not to that number.
Not the rate we're going, no.
Burnout
I don't
early.
know. I think it was Waylon Jennings that had Snowball rolling downhill. Never mind, anyway. All right, guys, let's hear the details on the Band of Brothers. Okay, we're in Payson in basically the last week of May.
Memorial Day, yeah.
What are you doing?
We are going to be raising money for this suicide prevention. And we're going to be having Arizona Cardinal cheerleaders are coming out. We've got zip lining. We've got.
How'd you get the cheerleaders? We tried to get the cheerleaders
Yeah.
at Big Bass Days.
We asked, and they said absolutely. And
what?
That was it. And
You must ask the wrong way. You've got that leer about you. Cheerleaders. You got cheerleaders. See, these guys ask nicely. You, big difference.
And
he looks like such a trusted guy.
Maybe that's it. So we asked, and they came, and we got 36 hours of incredible bands coming from all over the country. It's been this last week or two, people for the last couple of years have been trying to get this deal going. Now, thanks to guys like you, for instance, I wanted to say thank you for having us here.
Oh, you're welcome. My pleasure.
Hopefully get this
word out.
Yeah, I was so frightened that, people talk about wanting to help vets, and I'm hoping that they come out and support this deal, and I think they will.
I think Payson's a good venue. It's red, white, and blue up there. We have the old Hank Williams tune going on here with us, Country Boy, Kansas. That's what you have up there.
Yeah.
Trust me.
Well, a lot of people think are going to come from Phoenix and Tucson and Flagstaff and all around the state. And,
I think it's such a worthy cause. We here at Shake, Rattle, Show, John, Patrick, and myself, we're putting a lot of information out there. Roll call every week is very painful. We've had as many as 33 soldiers that we've honored in 1 week. And this week we don't have any, and thank God for that. Like Captain was talking about, it's hard to get the information. It's still happening, and we know it's happening. We haven't been able to get the WIA numbers, and now we're getting real sketchy KIA numbers, and something's going on. And it's
well, there's one man every hour of every day, as you know, is committing suicide, or woman.
Yep.
It's epidemic, and that's of the states reported. Some of the states don't report.
The last stats Vern and I really studied pretty hard. We were losing a retired veteran every 88 minutes.
Yeah, it's gotten worse.
Yeah, and that was about 13 months ago.
Retired veteran, right?
Yeah,
wow.
Yeah.
And
post-military service.
Well, Sergeant Jim Bunch from Colorado, he's still current. He's in the military. He said
active duty.
Right. He said the last the first 4, 5, 6 years in Afghan and Iraq, they were dishonorably discharging them, and these guys are so they're not even in the count, and so it was upsetting to him. But that's what the festival is. Like I say, it's just to get out there, and all the money's raised for the ticket sales stays in Arizona to implement this Veterans Anonymous, which is just duplicating Alcoholics Anonymous. That's all we're doing. And then, of course, Chain, which is our crisis hotline intervention network, where they can call and a vet answers that phone.
Nice.
And so that they've got a guy that with like backgrounds, and then they can get to a meeting somewhere. Mm-hmm. And without that and that camaraderie, that AA does provide quite a bit of that. That's all we're doing is duplicating that. So, and then we go to Colorado over Labor Day, and then money's raised there, stays in Colorado, and just try to get this going as fast as we can to like the former Joint Chief of Staff from Good Morning Arizona last week said, it's going to get worse because all the troops coming back is going to get better.
Oh, yeah.
So that's what we're trying to do, and that's a lot of music, 36 hours of music, and some great bands like, that.
Well, Dina Preston's coming. Love those guys. They've played at our Big Bass Days event for 3 years now.
And a lot of stuff in Afghanistan and Iraq.
You said you had Muggy-On, Dwayne in that bunch. We have Dwayne on the radio show at least once a year and totally disrupts the entire network.
Oh, I don't know. I kind of like the way you sing.
Yeah.
You're going to come and sing a little bit up there, aren't you, Don?
I don't sing well, but I sing really loud.
He is correct. He's loud and horrible.
Yeah, it's all good.
We got a bunch of just activities for those people to have a good time while they're there. We've got everything going on, so they're going to have it.
Well, you've got some big name guys that when you and I were talking, I'm thinking, God dang, those guys were old when I was a kid.
Well, they used to own
a place called West Coast Disco Crescendo Cowboy in Anaheim. Started out as an old bus station while I was still active in the Marine Corps, running and jumping out of airplanes and doing the things we like to do. And the guys came to me for some money. I donated up some money. We bought that. And kind of the reference, if you ever heard of Saturday Night Fever, was filmed in there.
Nice.
And so we know a lot of the bands. My partner, Terry Lamar, out in Freeport, Florida, American Legion commander there, he stayed in touch with all these guys, Chuck Berry, Jerry Lee Lewis, Molly Hatchet, or his buddies, they run around over there. And so he's reaching out to some of the old bands, and he stayed in touch, and they're all interested, so we're just trying to
Are you tracking on this, JK?
Molly Hatchet's going to play?
Well, yeah, we're trying to get them. We think they are.
We're negotiating favors.
Cash he's calling in favors. That's what he's doing, TL. TL, kind of hung out with those guys. We're captain.
Still does. The other day when we told him, no, they were all there drinking beer around their table. And so they called me back and, because they sent the standard rider, which for anyone that doesn't know what a rider is, for an entertainment group.
I didn't know.
That's their list of what they want to come and report. So they sent us
minimum expectation.
Yeah,
it was
20
amazing
pages of
what they
detailed what type of water they wanted, the different kinds of food, and assorted things. Now, flashback to my old days back in the 70s and 80s when they would come in, there was a lot of exotic things they wanted and demanded. Now, this was a very civil request.
Yeah, there was a guy running around back in the 60s, early 70s, Panama Red. Seen him lately?
No.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, but he's one of the brothers. That was on the list then.
Yeah, I remember him well. So, yeah.
I don't think those old bodies would handle some of those listed demands anymore.
Man, I'm telling you.
We'd be burying a whole lot of them real quick.
I think this is one I'm not going to miss. I mean, this is just going to be too good.
It's going to be fun. There's so much stuff to do there. It's going to be great. And it's 3 days, 3 nights. They can camp out there. They can actually bring their tents. They can bring their RV, their motorhome, sleep in their car, whatever they want to do.
Oh, I'm accustomed to that. I do that a lot.
And we want to thank the town of Payson for stepping up to the plate.
Yeah, they were good.
We won't mention any other towns, but but they were concerned. Payson has reached out to us with their tourism bureau, and God bless them. And as you know, by the mud run that's going to be coming the week after, they got the big rodeo going there the previous weekend, and then they're going to redo that arena for us, so it'll be hard pack, and we'll be rocking and rolling.
That'll be Cameron Davis up there.
Yes.
Cameron's regular on the show.
Is he?
Yeah, we support Mayor Kenny, and a lot of James Guggenauer that we're going to be talking to at 8:30 is from Payson. They're good people.
And Cameron's he's a nice man.
Yeah, he is. Cameron gets it, being in that position. So, anyway, we're going to thank some more of our sponsors. Very important. Building Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, Ram, 1,500 back-to-back Motor Trend champions.
Yeehaw!
Good today.
Life is good today. With a plane touchdown just about 3 o'clock.
I've got some big news. The bank finally came through, and I'm holding the keys to a brand new Chevrolet.
Dodge, D-O-G-E. Okay. All right. That's why we have the handicap parking out there in front. Non-Dodgers go in the handicap. So, or Rams, Chryslers, Jeeps, what have you. So, anyway, is your foundation, are you setting up chapters in the Metroplex in Arizona? Is it going to be down here? Or are you going to have a physical building for these guys to go to?
Well, we initially, yes, but what we're trying to implement is where your AAs meet, or about every church or anywhere in the state, is we're going through that avenue, so it's more places for them to go to.
Yeah.
But we'll initially set up the call center right here in Phoenix and start with someone here locally in this area for a place for them to come, and hopefully spider out from there and get more areas, Scottsdale, and veterans helping veterans. That's what this deal is about.
That's the big key. You know, it's like going, and seeking marriage counseling from a marriage counselor that has never been married.
It's exactly.
Happened to you, happened to me.
Exactly. That's what they get sometimes when they call, and the the VA administration tries their best, but you call there, and sometimes it's somebody that's never been in the military. It's tough to.
Well, I have to give some kudos to Vern Bagley. Vern Bagley was a lieutenant in Vietnam. His first day in Vietnam was the opening act of the Tet Offensive. Welcome to Vietnam.
Yeah.
And Vern, I've known Vern for an awfully long time, and Vern would be the poster soldier from Vietnam.
Yeah.
Been laced with Agent Orange. He's short, cocky, and arrogant, like you would expect a lieutenant to be. No offense, Captain.
I was a lieutenant in Vietnam.
I know, we're moving beyond that. And he's got a congenital heart failure due to the Agent Orange and this and that and carrying on. And as I get to know Vern in his battles with VA, it's more than an atrocity what happens to the soldiers. For Vern to get health care, you go on a waiting list. You got to see this guy. He's been in my home going, "You don't understand. I'm going to die. I need to come in now." And they're going like, "Yeah, we'll get back to you in 30 days."
I mean, they try the best they can do, but it just sometimes.
And the PTSD thing is just the general public doesn't get it. They don't want to admit what it is or why it is, and you, Captain, we've done an awful lot of study on it and talked to an awful lot of guys. And Vietnam was, I think the first place where the term asymmetrical warfare came in, and you guys kind of hit it. In our studies, we found that out of 365 days in a year, the average Vietnam soldier had 258 days of combat. The guys over in Afghanistan, Iraq, as you pointed out, we've pointed out as well, there's not a rear area. They are in the playground. They are in theater 365 days a year. And, how you recover from that is
redeployment
Nowhere
after
is
redeployment.
Safe. Nowhere is safe. Everywhere, anytime, any place in these deployments is danger.
Yeah.
Well, you take it as well as the cultural differences. The area that they're in, the philosophy of life is totally different than what we have. We value life. They don't.
Well, you start getting into the deeper aspects of asymmetrical warfare. You're talking about Western Hemisphere. We're not raised to kill women, children, and eat your dog, that kind of thing.
Or use your left hand for only one item. Yeah.
Amen.
You know, the stats are about 87% of these Afghan-Iraq vets would go right back to fight for this country again.
Sure.
There's something
amazing
about combat that is addictive, and you will always go back once you've been in gunfights and combat and stuff. It's just an adrenaline. You know, you get the opportunity, and the thing's racing. You're packing your bag. You're getting ready to go jump, get into it, rescue one. I mean, just gets the adrenaline. And anybody that can hear this that's been there knows exactly what I just said.
That's pretty well identified and emphasized in the book Why Men Love War.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds like an oxymoron, but no, you're correct.
This Agent Orange thing you're talking about, some of the stories, I mean, back then they didn't know, the military didn't understand, the guys out in the field didn't understand, but they'd put the Agent Orange, wipe it on their body to cool down. And that's
nice.
That's how they would cool down, was just put that on because it was so hot. So but in Captain Kelly, it's got the Agent Orange is affecting his spinal system here, so that's what he didn't say that, but that's what it happens. It can take years and years and years to develop itself.
Absolutely.
Really?
Well, I think what happened to the Vietnam veterans and in the beginning, it was being overshadowed by recognition of who they are, what they did for the country, what they went through, and now the re-welcoming process is pretty much main stuff. We take our military vehicles and support the veteran community at a lot of I don't know how many events we do a year. 24 anyway. And during the break, Captain and I were talking. I've got an M923A2, which replaced an M35A2, a deuce and half, 70s era, Vietnam era. Only this truck went to Kuwait and was shuttling fuel and groceries in and out of Iraq. The first time Patrick and I had that, we got a call from Sportsman's Warehouse. They're doing a military appreciation day. They said, "Hey, Don, can you bring your truck?" I'm going, yeah.
Hey, Gunny, we're coming.
Yeah. The first guy into the store, you're going to love this, had on his jump boots, a brand new pair of camel pants, a jacket, a jump scarf, 101st Airborne, a gun, a knife, and a hat with all kinds of pins on it. He walks up and goes, I'm a Vietnam vet, huh? I'm going, yes, sir. He said, let me tell you about that truck. And he called that truck every kind of an SOB for 45 minutes. I don't know what his rank was, but I said, wait a minute. Let me ask you one question. At the end of the day, when you got to ride in the truck, did it beat walking? He goes, yeah, but. I said, we're done right there. Okay.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like Vern, having to ride in the deuce and half. I was really concerned he was going to have a flashback. And I took him out to the lake, and I said, Vern, you okay? He says, yeah. He said, I don't remember riding in the front of one of these things. I said, all right, well, just hold on. We're good. But it started coming back, and you could see it. And all of a sudden, he took his hat off, took the earmuffs off, because I'm running that Hercules diesel, and it's dumping right in the window. And he turns around and he looks in the back, in the bed of the truck. I didn't say anything, so we got up the stoplight, and I said, everything okay? He said, yeah. He said, I was just making sure those knuckleheads weren't acting up like they always do. We're good. Let's go. So, the thought-provoking aspects of getting face-to-face with the things they interacted with, the do's and halves and some of the other vehicles, we've not had one bad commentary from the soldiers. They come up and salute the truck, give it a pat, give it a rub, and can I get in it? Oh, yeah. So
up there at the event, we're going to have half a dozen to a dozen of them up there, all perfect from thanks for the motor pool over in Chino Valley, Gunny's Frank. We're going to get them up there, and we've got quite a variety of military vehicles in perfect condition.
I need to know those guys. I belong to the National MVPA and the local Desert Warriors with Lieutenant Bill Simon and Arizona Military Vehicle Collectors Club. So, yeah, need to know those guys.
Yeah.
It's all good.
Yeah.
And just when you said the Lieutenant Dan band was going to come, but they're currently God bless them, going to be playing on the Mall in Washington, but they have said our future ones, they will be here for us. I was talking to him. His birthday was about 3 weeks ago.
That's cool. Obviously, you're going to have food vendors, just random vendors, or do you have an agenda for food?
Yeah, pretty much an agenda for breakfast, the pancakes and all that stuff, and hash browns, and then lunch we got the
barbecue tri-tips. We're going to try and have some conventional burgers, fries, etc. Then we'll have some barbecued beef, pigs, pork. ASU was it?
University of Arizona.
UA came up and said they've got some cows and pigs they're going to prepare for us, so that we'll be able to barbecue them up. We'll have a lot of fresh food.
And we got some libations there, of course. If a guy wants to partake in that, that'll be there. And
we're still talking to the beer companies.
What a novel concept.
The beer companies are still out to lunch yet.
Bartender's name's Panama Red. Yeah. We're going to stand down, take a break. When we come back, we'll finish it up. Alrighty, we're back visiting with Captain Kelly, Roger, and JK. Boy, you guys are having one heck of a conversation. Good grief. Man.
That's for off air.
All right, so who's your opening act? I'm curious, man. You've got it sounds to me like one of the bigger events that's going to hit Payson this year.
Oh, sure, Mogollon.
Mogion's going to open. Oh, Willard.
They're great.
Look out, Dwayne. Here we
I had a boat. Pirate boat.
And their father was with Hash Knife Pony Express, because all the guys that I know from that group knew these guys from Mogollon. I personally haven't met them, but when they were little guys. And so it's kind of interesting, that passing a tradition of things.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they're from Heber.
Yeah, I know. So. Their dad was the sheriff that relieved Steve Reynolds of the Reynolds boys, Mark, Steve, all of them from DPS and the governor's office. And
see, I told you, the family tree does not fork up there.
I'm telling you. Gene pool's pretty shallow.
Yep.
Yeah, man.
What do you think you call it, Heber Overgard,
The white salamander.
Yeah, okay. Have you done this? Is this your first one, or have you done it elsewhere?
This is it. This is our first one. I'm working on it since June of 2012. And, hit roadblock after roadblock after roadblock.
It's a big deal putting on an event.
And all of a sudden, I was having these doubts does anyone really care about this one guy every hour or woman killing themselves?
Yeah.
And then this last couple of weeks, it's like you welcome us here, and a lot of bands, some top-notch guys calling us, going, "Hey, we want to come. No charge."
I'll tell you what.
Bizarre.
One of the better things you've done is hook up with Don Ortiz from the Dina Preston Band, DEO Productions. He's on it.
That one song he's got is moving. It's So Blue is Moving.
Yeah,
you've heard it, I'm sure.
It is. They've done. Like I said, they've played our Bass Days event for 3 years. They'll play next year. Mogollon's played for 16 years with us.
Wow.
And they have their own camp. And
Don Ortiz does so many tours in Afghan and Iraq. For
they
the troops.
have.
They sang over there.
Let's see.
21.
Yeah.
I
think 41.
He has problems with
me
me right now, and I'm still angry because he didn't take me to Hungary. He was performing in Hungary, and he didn't take me in a side bag. So we have issues.
Well, yeah, I'm not tracking on that.
How could he go to Hungary without me?
Bring your own gypsy.
Yeah, I don't get that.
When John's around, women, children, and chickens, they're not safe.
In danger.
I'm just saying. What can we do to help you up there?
Well, this is the help of it. Is
this is the easy part.
Spreading the word,
and we're just town of Payson, Parks and Recreation. They're limited as to many people that they said to have there. So, if the ones that want to get out and go, we for sure we're going to sell out. So I'm hoping the guys behind this get there first, and because they only give us just a few thousand people can come. So
have you interacted with the Matazell Casino as of yet?
Yes, we were up there talking with the guys, blocking out some rooms for some of these bigger groups want to have special rooms and special water.
That's that 48-page list of things required.
Special oranges, the special beer.
The rider.
It's called the rider. Yeah.
What?
Yeah, it's interesting.
Don, I've seen your rider.
It's interesting what some of these bigger bands want.
Don only wants hot dogs and donuts. Donuts in the morning, hot dogs after the
Dunkin'
tournament's
Donuts,
over.
man. Dunkin' Donuts.
Only yellow M&Ms. Somebody has to pull out the other colors. True story. Some of it's very, very odd. I know. It blew me away. I didn't
Not
realize.
for this rider, but
Not this. Not Molly. No, not them. Not them. Some other ones.
not you guys, Molly Hatchet. That's okay, Phil.
Yeah, but who's going to prop these guys up? They've got to be. Wow.
Our age.
We got a bunch of young country rock.
Beyond. Yeah. You think back when we were coming up and we were snot-nosed, let's say.
I still am.
It was a
Go
big
ahead.
deal. Yeah, you are. Sorry. It's all good.
And we got country rock bands coming and classic rock, newer stuff, and the younger guys. So it's going to be fun for everybody in that.
And, of course, you'll have Mayor Kenny down there kissing women and throwing babies in the air.
I'm sure.
Yeah. Yeah, Mayor Kenny's a pretty stand-up guy, as a matter of fact.
I will tell you this, though. I mean, certainly for those people who, if they run out of accommodations at all the hotels, which typically you're going to find them.
We've got camping.
Yeah,
Camping
I
is
was
available.
going to say. The Tonto National Forest has a boatload of area. I mean, you
Bring
can go
your
up and down the
poncho liner.
beeline.
They gave us like 30 acres extra up in that mountain. Cameron said, if you guys want to camp up in there, camp up in there. Bring your tent.
Nice.
Yeah, it was kind of cool because you're right in the pine trees. And that weekend, the average temperature there in Payson's 79 degrees.
It's nice.
Over Memorial Day,
Perfect.
get out of this
Phoenix,
heat.
Remember that.
Get out of this heat.
You know me. I'll be up on the Highline Trail. It'll be 20 degrees cooler than down
I'll
here.
bet you before it's over, there's battle reenactments up in the hood.
Oh, I'm betting there will be too.
And they can stay 2 or 3 days, or they check in at 12 and leave the next day at 12. They get to spend the night if they just want to do a day thing.
Sure.
Check in at 12 on Friday and check out at 12 on Saturday, and then or Saturday to Sunday, and then Sunday to Monday. And we play up till 12 at night. They said we could go till.
Wow.
Noon
it's
to midnight.
Yeah.
The elk are leaving the territory.
Boy, I'll tell you, Cameron's really opening the door for you. Normally it's 10
Yes.
o'clock. You turn off the...
Well, he said, I think Brad Paisley played there, or somebody he said that, and we let them go to 12-1.
And
so,
as we're getting this word, many of the famous country guys are checking in with us that they may make an appearance.
Yeah.
Someone that were around for the Hot Shot 19, the Arnell 19,
Sure, yeah.
that are live in the region will come by, make an appearance, and so we're now that we've within the last 2 weeks got a site locked up. We're still out looking for sponsors. Anybody wants to donate, we have the ability to take your money and use it, give you a good return.
Well, that's another good question. Do you have a website? Do you have contact numbers?
Bandofbrothersfestival.org. Bandofbrothersfestival.org. And if you go on there, it'll pop up the screen and all the other information and about the deal and about
us, the camping, the facilities, and as we're confirming the bands, and we're going to have a full variety of music. One of the
Country,
bands,
Western rock, and
Freedom Rising, is a patriotic group. Does a lot of patriotic music and stuff.
Yeah, and soon they'll have our 1-800-VET-4448. That's how they'll be able to call to get into us, get a ticket.
1-800-VET-4448.
It's a toll-free number, obviously.
Nice.
And so that they can get in. That will also be our crisis hotline intervention network.
What
phone
kind
number.
of support are you getting from VA?
None.
They're standing by on it. They don't want to touch it and do that.
I mean, it's hard
and
for
I'm not so
interested.
sure we want them to. That's going to prevent the guys from
Right.
giving their last name.
The anonymity.
Exactly.
Anonymity.
You know?
Anonymity.
Well, they're certainly not part of the solution. They're the problem.
Yeah, they don't want to give their last name and never get a job. This is a good thing. They need this.
Don, anybody
Good
who's
morning,
ever
my
been through a
name's
12
Bill.
step.
It's been 2 minutes since I had a beer.
Yeah.
You know, that format.
I've been there. I've done the 12-step program.
Yeah,
We've danced that dance.
Yeah, if you haven't done that, you've missed something in your life.
You have.
You know.
Yeah. Yeah, my doctor, tournament angler as well, and they're starting the gun thing.
Mm-hmm.
Going, don't remember. So I don't know how we're going to get around it. I don't know where it's headed, and I don't know where it's going to end, but it's not going to be good.
Well,
It's also in your Privacy Act. You don't have to give that information up. It's not mandated.
Yeah.
They get you in the comfort zone as they're going through the questions. And about number 6 or number 8 in there is in how many firearms do you own, or do you have any firearms? Very casual. You're comfortable. You're moving through. Oh, I can't remember. That's private information. However you want to deal with it. But be prepared.
it's a dual-edged sword at the best.
Yeah,
we know that. By the way, where are you going to be housing this call center for people?
Here, Metro Phoenix.
Metro
here.
Phoenix?
We're implementing this here in Arizona first because that's where we're from. That's where
Right.
I'm from my whole life. And going to start that here and move to Colorado quickly for Labor Day. And that will stay there in Colorado. The money's raised from these ticket sales.
Mm-hmm.
And then we hope to Alaska, where Sergeant Major just headed out for hopefully pulling out there over Labor Day. That's why he's not here. But
Florida.
in Florida and New York
New
for
York.
next year. So we're trying to go as quickly as we can before we lose more and more and more. And the Joint Chiefs of Staff said the other day that it's going to get worse. The former
It's all
Admiral.
returns.
We're headed downhill. Hey, we got to close this first hour out. When we come back for the second hour, we'll give you some more ins and outs on the Band of Brothers Festival and some other stuff. I'm Don McDowell.
Here's your host, saltwater fisherman, the man that fears no fish, Bass Daddy and Tournament Pro, Don McDowell.
We are back. Thanks for joining us for the second hour of Shake, Rattle, and Troll. If you've been listening to us, or if you've just joined us, we have Captain Kelly here with his buddy Roger Williams from the Band of Brothers Festival.org. Check out that website. Click on Play Along. An event coming up the latter part of May.
Memorial Day weekend.
In downtown.
23,
Payson.
24, 25.
Yeah, we got a lot of stuff to do on that particular weekend, but I expect to be there. Joining us right now live from the Roosevelt Resort, Roosevelt Lake, Donnie McBride.
Good morning, gentlemen. Donald, how are you, sir?
I'm doing well. I'm in the presence of a captain. I'm on my second best behavior.
Oh, I bet you are. Good morning, sir.
All righty, so Donnie, what's happening over at Roosevelt? So some good things have happened. I want to thank you certainly for your service. You don't get enough thanks for doing what you've done for us. And secondly, I want to thank you for kicking in and helping with the Florida strain bass stocking last Tuesday on the Mother Lake.
Got some great things happening up here, Donald. And boy, it just couldn't happen at a better time for us up here. Just a great effort by Game and Fish to really jump on this problem early and get those funds here early, and to do what we did the other day is just a heck of a start. And I can't Gil and Joe Sayer and his staff and and everybody else that's involved in this, from Guggenhauer to Mr. Powell and down the line. It's something that's going to continue, and I hear we had some pretty exciting things happen here last night too. You want to talk a little bit about that?
Yep, it's all yours, buddy.
Well, I ran into a couple of young people from the University of Tucson here that they were up here with Game and Fish last night, and they were starting some electroshocking again and some sampling gill netting.
Now, let's talk a little bit about the electroshocking. Is that some type of therapy that you're going through?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
It is after my little thing this week.
It's like, here, Donnie, hold the jumper cables.
I feel
Nice.
much better, though.
Good.
But so that's pretty exciting. They're going to be up here, what we understand, 3 different times to do this survey, and I believe it's leading to what you can talk a little bit about, which is the main program.
Well, kudos to first of all the commission for backing Chief Cantrell.
Absolutely.
And Assistant Director Jim DeVos, Director Voiles. Everybody has made this possible. However, having said that, without Chief Cantrell's foresight and enthusiasm and ability to take on the system, as it were, and I'm going to leave that go. He's done a good job. They've come up with a program. There was a lot of negative comment from the locals in the bass angling community that they weren't going to get anything done. Bottom line is they came up with a plan, implemented the plan. We weren't supposed to have fish for about 10 months from now. We've got our first 2 loads of fish. More's on the way. Cantrell's engaged the U of A with their grad student program to do samplings, testing, gill netting. While I was there, Joe Sayer and Kurt Gill and the photographer, I'm not sure what his name was, and forgive me for that.
George Andreyko?
I'm not sure who it was. All I know is he's a tall guy, nice guy, good with the camera, and had on a green shirt.
Wasn't that George?
Go figure. And, the guy in the green shirt did a good job on documenting the stalking issues. But they were up netting for gizzard shad, which there's a bazillion of them. We saw that. Crappie and some other things. And I think you're going to see a turnaround, and it's going to take a minimum of 3 years. But I think 2 years from now, we're going to start seeing the effects. The gizzard shad program is moving along. We should have some definitive information on $80,000 worth of grant money, additional grant money in July. And we'll be working on this next week. We have found 232 additional grant foundation opportunities for sport fish restoration and stocking that we're engaging on. Some of it we can do through our own 501c3. Some of it's going to have to go through the department or an agency. So, having said that, let's go. Let's change gears and transgress back to about a week ago on the goose issue.
Just a real tragic thing that, as far as, let me open up like this, folks. We just love to have everybody up here, and we love to see and meet the people who hunt and fish and the recreation part of it. I guess what I want to say, for some of us, this is our home, and I think a lot of you know about our pet geese up here, and we get to go, they're just geese. But let me tell you something, folks. These geese are, for a lot of these kids up here, they're pets. Even for the adults, we spend a lot of money on these geese. We spend money on their medical care if needed, and so on and so forth. This particular goose who was taken was what they call a white Asian goose swan, and there was a mother and a daughter, a mother and a son, and the son was the little one was about a year old. And what happens a lot, especially at this time of year, the folks come up and they get kind of aggressive, and we see the kids throwing rocks at them and trying to kick them and things like that. Folks, let me make this statement. We don't go to your house and try to kill and abuse your animals. And we just ask a little respect on the same note when you come up here. If you're having a problem with them, come to us, come to the resort. We'll see if we can get that taken care of and get them away from you. But anyway, what happened was I was in Lake Havasu for the Lake Havasu Open, and I'm the one who basically hand feeds these two fresh popcorn and da-da-da-da every day. And I came home and I woke up and the maintenance gentleman was sitting there looking at me, and he said, "I don't even know how to tell you this." And I said, "What happened?" And he said, a certain individual came up here and had a lady with him, and basically they shot the little one with a bow. They got on top of her, beat him, and then cut his head off. And they took the head and they put it on the windowsill of the breakfast area of the resort. Now, I was told that there was witnesses that were actually watching this, and I can't confirm that. I was a little disappointed that no one had the cojones to step in and stop it.
We got about a minute, Donnie.
Okay, but real quick, folks, the man has called. I tracked him down through the sheriff's and Fish and Game. He was arrested through summons. I believe it was Tuesday with the help of Don McDowell, Wayne Dorsett, Gila County, and Joe Sayer. He's been charged with animal cruelty, misdemeanor 1, and Game and Fish is following up on what they can do. Mr. Tristan McGee, this is public information. I really don't know what got into you. We do appreciate the apology, appreciate the grain that you dropped off. I really hope that you understand the severity of what you did. We'll get him to recover. We're going to try to give him a mate, but I'm going to leave it at that for now, Don. And
Good job. Yeah, that's, Tristan McGee's lost his man card. That's a lifetime revocation, and all I can tell you is shame on that guy. Donnie, God bless you. Hey, thanks for kicking in, and keep an eye on our Mother Lake over there, and we'll see you next week. Don McBride, folks, tournament angler, local resident of the Roosevelt Resort. We're going to stand down, thanks to our sponsors. When we come back, Bobby Wright.
The miles are all the same.
All right, we're back. We'll get back to Bobby Wright. Issue with Bobby this week is Salt River Project continuing to dump water out of Bartlett Lake. It's getting down to a very treacherous level. In talking with Bobby and looking at the lake levels, the marina, John, they're having to dismantle the marina. It's about 15 feet from being in the mud, like they did last year and the year before that.
They do that every year. There's a logic I know behind it. Is it because of the seasonal need for water?
You
and
know
the
what?
shortage that we've got?
You're a bright guy. You call Salt River Project and try to get an answer out of them.
Is that a challenge?
Yeah. Double dog dare you. They're not returning my phone calls. They're not returning a lot of phone calls, and they're continuing to dump water and dump water and dump water. I know they have a fiduciary responsibility to supply water and blah, 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 blah. They also, in their MOU, have a responsibility to keep these reservoirs at recreational levels.
There's the balance that they're not doing.
Yeah, and the bad part about it is when you're losing a foot of water or more a day, and right during the spawning season, in their planning they could do a little bit better.
A lot better.
So hopefully hopefully we'll have a decent spawn. But rumor has it they're supposed to start pulling water out of Horseshoe Reservoir next week, or possibly Bobby's here the 29th.
Horseshoe I've seen dried up totally.
Horseshoe's just a
holding area.
Holding pen, yeah. So anyway, there will be some discussions if we can get SRP to engage. The phone call is going to be starting. In the meanwhile, if you want to put a little pressure on them, you can go to Facebook, their Facebook page, and pound them. And I'll be making my post this week. They have a responsibility to the public, since we're paying the bills up there through government subsidy and so on and so forth, to at least answer the phone, answer questions. So that's what Bobby's up to. But quite frankly, Bobby's got a huge tournament scheduled up there pretty quick. And, there's $4,000 or $5,000 already spent. He's got guys coming from multi-state outside Arizona to attend his event. There's not going to be any place to put them.
Yeah, they're not going to be able to fish at the lakes down that far, and they can't get their boats out.
Well, the launch facilities are, you're launched by four-wheel drive or truck, and, they got some fairly big boats up there. So the only other option is take Big Sexy up there and start launching boats. Well,
it's a bad idea. You're going to have a groove going.
No. We can go in 6 feet of water before I have an issue. It's called fording.
Yeah.
Hoorah. All right. Having said that, we'll get some more with Captain Kelly and Roger. I really thank you guys for coming down. And in all seriousness, Captain Kelly, honor to have you here. And you too, Roger.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Thank you. It's a pleasure being here.
Yeah, thank you.
In spite of the Starbucks, we're going to overlook that. We'll just move on. So, we're going to have to get some Dunkin' gift cards.
Yes, we are.
To go along with your man card.
Yep. You come in the door, you better be carrying Dunkin'.
Yeah, that's right. We have man cards. Well, I think I have a couple. if you get caught coming out of a Starbucks, just so you'll know, Captain,
Just
I mean,
saying.
you got a hall pass this weekend.
Yeah.
If you get caught coming out of Starbucks, you lose your man card for 30 days. Now, if they see you coming out of a Dunkin' Donuts, bam, you get it back immediately.
Yeah.
It's
Circle
good.
K is just a status quo. You're okay, which is what I do.
Okay.
Well,
okay.
next week we're going to have my buddy Troy on. He's an interesting chap, Italian guy from New York. I had a discussion with him last
Italian
week.
guy from New York. Does he have any affiliations? Is he under the secret witness program?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know if we're going to use his real name or not.
Witness
Kelly,
protection.
huh?
Yeah,
Kelly, right.
this
How
guy.
about Vito? It ends in a vowel. Come on.
Yeah, it does. It does. And, I'm breaking my rule number 3. But I had a conversation with him, and coffee came up, and he went off on a tirade that Starbucks single-handedly screwed up a cup of coffee. And I'm going to just leave that. You're going to love this guy. So, okay, so we've got Memorial Day weekend, downtown Payson. Give me the total of how many bands are you going to have total?
Probably 20.
Yeah.
And right now they're queuing up, and we're able to pick and choose, so to speak. So that gives us some good selection. We're getting a variety of music.
Some good country, Western rock.
Rock.
And some good regular classic
Patriotic
rock bands.
music.
So,
Anybody going to be hanging out at your buddies there at the Oxbow?
You think?
The Oxbow, I
Okay.
think, is not functioning currently.
Oh, no.
Oh, it's back?
My buddy,
All right.
my buddy Brian owns it, has owned it, and it opens up for special events.
really?
Yes.
Over 50
I
years
know
ago,
them.
that's
Oh,
where I learned
yeah.
how to play pool. It was in that place.
Serious.
Yeah, that's where I learned to play pool. The Hot Rock Sob was a buddy of mine. We'd
Yeah.
go there at 10, 11, 12 years of age. We'd
Yeah,
play pool
Brian
right there.
Mortensen owns the Oxbow. They open it up for special events.
Really?
Oh, yeah. He's got the liquor license, and it's there.
It's right down
Oh, they
the
were
road.
there for
Oh,
the
yeah.
Hash Knife Pony Express. I know I've met Brian then and his wife.
Oksana.
And, yeah, and awesome. They treat us great.
See?
Yeah, Captain Kelly's all over the place. He leaves for, Quantico, Virginia here. And,
Yeah, I think the end of this month, the 30th, I go to Quantico, Virginia for a reunion of a Marine class of infantry officers. There's only about 33 of us left alive, of about 280. I couldn't believe it. A couple names, James Webb, Senator, Ollie North, Freedom
Yeah,
Speaker.
but you know what? I get a Christmas card from Oliver North. I sent him, when they were bringing him up on charges.
I was in Nicaragua when that happened,
Nice.
live.
I sent money to his defense fund. Every year I get a Christmas card. What a guy.
And he keeps his mouth shut.
Does now. Yeah, man. Hey, where's Ollie? Don't know.
Ollie who?
Yep. Yeah, we need guys like
cannot
Oliver
recall.
North. Yeah. Well, the same guys that want to roast Oliver North, the same guys want us to have Wolf John
I know.
Starbucks.
Down in the dirt there, Starbucks. You want to come out? Nope. Okay.
No, I'm serious. That whole liberal movement is, I hate to get keyed in on screwing up a cup of coffee, but
Gentlemen, he's
military-
revving his engines. Here we go.
The military cuts. Yeah, it just, what in the hell is going on? Without guys like Captain Kelly and Vern, and give a shout out to Gary Dale, another guy you need to know, Vietnam vet, big old guy,
Steve Reynolds.
biggest Marine I ever saw. You have to butter his head to get him through that door. He's going in for some type of brain surgery. They're going to hook up some jumper cables to his brain, and then they're going to put a pacemaker in and do some wiring and who knows what. But it's not being done at VA.
Right.
He's got a chance.
I used my insurance from my law enforcement experiences and got that done. I've had like 12 heart surgeries, all based back to Agent Orange. I got the full spectrum of Agent Orange, so I can relate with all that. And it didn't hit me till I was 60.
Wow.
Or I had it, the diabetes and stuff, but being as I worked for law enforcement, I denied it.
Yeah, good choice. You allergic to donuts?
I was just going to say that. I was just going to go around that corner. I did not sit at that donut shop. Where do you need a police officer? You know where to find him.
Yeah, boy.
When I first got to Chino Valley 5 years ago, I stopped an officer and I said, "Hey, where's nearest donuts?" He says, "They're over in Prescott."
Oh, geez.
Oh, that's a long run.
It is.
But now we've got the lunchbox down there. Makes awesome homemade food. Oh, everything every morning.
Outstanding. That's all good. There's going to be hate mail come Monday morning.
Oh, yeah. You think you've had any tickets lately? Just wait, buddy.
Hey, listen, I want to thank WM Joe. My boat, I'll tell you what, has been to show after show after show after show, and I dumped it in the water. We got all done, and he goes, "Don, you may want to get the orange decals next time." Yeah, I got them. We're legal. All righty, we're going to stand down when we come back. James Guggenauer, another former military guy, downtown Payson, Rim Country Custom Rods, the master rod builder. We'll be back.
I worried about cutting the grass. Left my truck at the boat ramp and my boat is full of gas. My old boss thinks I'm sick today. He won't have me to harass. 'Cause I'm out here on the river and he can kiss my big old bass.
Oh, yeah, that's only can mean one thing, James Guggenauer. James, what's happening, my brother?
Hey, good morning, Don. Good show today.
Hey, you're going to fit right in with these guys. They're coming to disrupt downtown Payson, and I know you're going to be right out there hanging out with them. So,
You bet. We've been there looking forward to it. And great opportunity for everybody here in town to show up down there. Payson always goes big for events like that, and I'm sure there'll be a big turnout.
yeah, man. Hey, where'd you spend your military service?
Didn't really have a military service. I was in the Merchant Marine.
That counts.
Ooh.
That counts.
And it was strange how it all happened, how I ended up being there, but absolutely enjoyed it. I think that's always had a love for the water and always been around it.
Well, the least they could have done is give you some gun support. Yeah, that's bad duty. All right. Well, anyway, thank you for that. Hey, before you get going, I want to tell you what the yellowtail are blowing up over in San Diego. The Malahini three-quarter day boat put 46 yellowtails on the boat yesterday, John.
You're killing me.
I'm telling you, it's coming.
Yep, it's that time of year.
All right, so what's going on your Rim Country report?
Yeah, great news. I heard you talking to Donnie McBride about the stocking effort. Can't thank enough of the volunteers that were down there to help do that, plus all the media coverage, including Shake, Rattle, and Troll. What a great-looking Bill Luke bass boat you got.
Thank you, sir.
Hey, the bass fishing on Roosevelt Lake was called excellent this past week. The winds are dying down in the mornings, picking up in the afternoons, but in the morning, a lot of guys are starting to see those bedfish because the water's starting to settle down and they can see a little deeper in the water. Largemouth bass are seen in 4 feet of water or less, but the smallmouth bass continue to be seen more in like the 15 feet of water. So they're in a little bit of deeper water, but good reports of guys starting to see them. The other thing now, we don't want people to think that the spawn goes for 2 weeks and then it's over. This week we have another full moon, so we're going to get a second wave of good spawning that's going on. But spawning activities are going to go on till probably the end of June. It comes in waves, and it kind of is related to the moon and the water temperatures and things like that. So, we'll see guys continuing to look for shallow fish for the next couple of months. So, the other thing that we're seeing, and this happens a lot in the spring, when guys are fishing with reaction baits or jerk baits and things like that, they catch one fish, and as they reel it to the boat, there'll be a couple other fish that are swimming right along with that fish trying to get that bait. This is an aggressive post-spawn type activity, and it's not uncommon to see, but it's good fishing right now down on Roosevelt Lake. Now, there have been some reports of topwater success. In fact, on the Arizona Game and Fish website, there's a couple of nice pictures of fish. But to the local experienced anglers that I talked to, they're still thinking that it's going to be a few weeks before the baits like the Rio Ricos and buzz baits and things like that take off. But that's something anglers, if they come up this week or the next couple of weeks, they probably want to experiment with a little bit because that's going to be the next big move for Roosevelt.
Yeah. Okay.
Now, the rim lakes are in full, they're all open. All the roads are open now, so anyone who wants to go up on a rim and do some trout fishing, this is the time to do it. The stocking program is underway. You can go to the Arizona Game and Fish website. They put a weekly update of every lake that's going to be stocked and how many trout are going to go in each of those lakes. So a good time to be up there. I'm still getting reports of guys catching holdover trout. The holdovers would be left from last year because we had a relatively mild winter up there. Guys are catching some pretty nice trout. You can once again go on AZ Game and Fish Department and see some of these pictures. Baits that are being recommended are Z-rays, road runners, small spinners, and power baits. And we tell everyone that if you're going up to the rim lake and you're taking your kids with you, kids that are under 10, stop and buy yourself a little container of worms, because you can just not guarantee that anybody under 10 is going to catch a fish if they put that worm on a hook about 1 foot below a bobber. I see lots of fathers out there with their sons and daughters, and the kids are keeping the dad busy getting the fish off the hooks and worms back on it.
Well, just so you'll know, as always, JK's writing notes over here. Worms, bobber, worms, bobber. Okay. That would be John, that's a red wiggler.
Yep. One more thing, just a reminder that Game and Fish is releasing trout in East Bertie that have radio transmitters on them, so they can better understand how the trout are moving using the East Bertie River.
So what are you saying? The NSA's following trout around now? What?
I'm saying if you catch a fish that's got a yellow tag up by its dorsal fin, please call Game and Fish, because there is a transmitter in that fish that they would like to have back. You can keep the fish, no problem with that, but would like to have the transmitter back if you catch one of those.
There's a number on it, too, as I recall seeing in the pictures, that when you pick it off, it has the phone number for you to call Game and Fish and to identify where you caught it location-wise.
Correct. Yes, once again, important data that Game and Fish would like to have, and you're right, JK, the number's right there on the tag.
Nah, you guys got it all wrong. You take that yellow tag, you catch a coyote, put it on the coyote, turn him loose. I'm just saying. Okay.
No, that's the radio transmitter that you hook up to a Bash's truck that's heading north.
Yeah, boy.
Hey, one more thing. Crappie fishing on Roswell Lake. You know, the spawn is on for crappies. Talked to a guide who had some customers out, and they had lots of success right at the marina. Now, not the tires or not in the shallows behind the marina, but right close to the main structure of the marina. Now, remember, they don't want you to go in the slips of the marina, but if you draw an imaginary line around the perimeter, you can fish that area.
Yeah, I don't want to have to open up the cruiser file again.
Right, yeah, we don't want to get down that road, but if you travel around there, you can see the crappie spawning right on the marina there. One hint for that is to always look for the darkest, shadiest area. If you're driving along and you see different shades of gray and then something that gets really dark, always pitch to that really dark area, because that's where they're going to be.
Okay.
So one more thing. Rim Country Custom Rods, Mother's Day is coming up. We're starting this week with a 10% discount on custom rod orders for your mom. We can get a variety of different blank colors.
Great, just something more for her to beat me with.
Nice.
Pink is always a good color, always a popular color for Mother's Day and Valentine's Day and things like that.
And Mark Townsend.
Put your mom's name on it. We can put a Happy Mother's Day message on it. So give Rim Country Custom Rods a call.
James, that's awesome. Thanks for thinking of Mother. One thing I do want to put out there, I want to personally thank you for all the good work you've done with Arizona Game and Fish as well. The roundtable meetings over at Tonto Basin at the school over there. You know, without your help in pacing and dealing with some of these guys over there, I don't think this thing would have happened.
Well, I certainly appreciate that, Don. It's a team effort, as you know, because you've been right there. We've been kind of arm in arm, me, you, and JK, working through this. So I'm happy it turned out this way. I appreciate the compliment. We'll pass it along to the whole team.
Absolutely. God love you, James. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you at the Band of Brothers Festival.
You bet.
All right. James Guggenauer. I never thought about buying Mom a fishing rod.
I know my mom. I wouldn't worry about it.
Never has crossed my mind.
However, I know there
It's
are
a
a
great
lot of
idea.
women. It's the best thing you could do is to get them out fishing. Then they would understand our logic. They can fish on their own, Don. They don't have to fish with us.
They read books. They drink wine. They have cheese.
No. That ain't happening on any of my fishing trips.
All righty. Okay, we're about ready to flip into a break here in about a minute, and when we come back, we're going to close out with Roger Williams and
The captain.
Captain Kelly. I love that hat. That is,
Not that one, yeah.
no, that one. Yeah, that is a great hat.
Been around a while.
Yeah, Air Cab. Yeah, good stuff. All right. Anyway, James Guggenauer has been really instrumental in helping out with the anglers up there in the Tonto and Payson area. Stocking was successful. I think we had, John, pretty close to 500,000.
Little Florida stream bassers.
Yep, little sack prize. All right, we're going to stand down. Thanks some of our sponsors one more time, and when we come back, we're going to finish up with
Roger Williams.
Cloyce Kelly.
Special K.
And I'll be back, Don McDowell.
I wish I had on the street, at the track, RTS or the killer scat pack. I say yeah.
Alrighty, we're back. Once again, I want to thank you guys for coming down.
Thank
you. And honoring us with your presence, including you, JK. always a pleasure to have JK here.
It's a treat.
Intriguing. Moderation.
Voice of moderation and reason for this organization.
Unless there's a chicken involved. Yeah. Scott Corcoran got his animal control license.
Did he?
He did. And I'm going to have to call Big Mike over there. I was trying to watch we were at church doing something else yesterday when the Darlington race was on, so I recorded the entire race.
You did.
I did. So last night after we got home, I'm watching the race, 4 hours worth of it, and it cut off at 4:30, which is the last 5 laps. Yeah,
I know who won, but
well, yeah, I figured that out. But Big Mike's a big Jeff Gordon fan, and hey, Big Mike, Jeff was wiping up the rear yesterday. Buddy.
No. He's had 8 top 10 finishes.
Yeah,
this year.
know what?
For an old guy, he's doing quite well. He set the standards back in the 90s for how to race. Go ahead.
Second place is the first loser.
Excuse me, how many times was he racer of the year? How many times did he win the NASCAR championship? Do you want to go there?
Doesn't matter.
You don't want to go there with me.
That's history. What are you going to do this year, Jeff?
Ooh.
Yeah.
And what about Little Lee? What's he done?
Oh, he's on it, man.
How many has he won?
He's won. Okay.
Yeah, but he happens to win the best one all the time. I agree.
Yeah, man. Well, you can look. He'll be in the right up there on the points chase. You watch. I don't know what built a fire under him, but he is lit. The other guy that you need to keep an eye on is that number 22 Pennzoil shell car, Joey Logano.
Mm-hmm.
That kid's
he's a good racer.
Yeah, something dropped. He's on it.
Yeah, so. He's figuring it out.
Yeah. All righty. Website, phone numbers, contact information, dates, the menu.
Come on, Roger.
And what kind of beer?
Showtime.
What kind of beer are you going to have?
Well, yeah, they're
and what time's Panama regular?
Lots of beer.
Well, certain of these, like Anheuser-Busch, doesn't allow any other type of beer on the premises.
Yeah,
and there's certain ones don't allow any other kind of beer. But so
Yeah,
we're kind of
we call that the beer wars.
working on that.
But we haven't got a commitment from anybody, so any of you beer people out there, come on, give us a call.
Oh, Rocky, Crescent Crown.
Well, let's see. Back in the captain's day, in my day, Budweiser was the big deal.
Yeah.
I like my Miller Lite, but, you know.
Coors Light.
Now, I hear they
Coors
Rodeo Cold seems to be rising.
Don't know anything about that.
It's a seasonal beer. I think it's something Coors has got out.
You know what blows my mind is you can go to Walgreens or Walmart and buy Junior Johnson Moonshine in a jar.
What? Say what?
Didn't know that.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the apple
Really?
pie. Yeah, if you take more than a sip, you're going to feel like crap tomorrow.
Really?
Trust me.
I just wanted to try some.
I've heard. I can say from probably close experience. I think you're right.
Yeah, $19.95 for a mason jar.
Really?
Yeah, Junior Johnson.
Don't go there.
It's worth the taste test.
You tried
Everyone
it?
should try it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
Well,
good stuff.
Anyway, yeah. So it's
Back to you, Roger.
I mean, I know you're about over, and we want to thank so much because we were told to hook up with you, and we
Good.
appreciate what you guys.
Well,
are
we'd like to
doing.
be your official radio show, so.
Well, and by the
All
way,
right.
thank you for that. On May 2nd, the ticket sales go on. We're all over the state in the radios, in Tucson and Phoenix and Flagstaff, getting the message out for this.
Good deal.
And on that day, 1-800-VET-4448, that phone will start ringing, and a lot of volunteer girls, will be trying to get their reservations set. They are limited up there, so if those that want to come, try to go quickly because we hope to go quickly.
Sell out quick.
And it's for Veterans Anonymous, and it's for all veteran issues. Post-traumatic stress disorder, of course, the TBI, and it's not limited to just that, but any kind of issue we can get where these guys are calling in at that 1-800-VET-4448 for the next, hopefully, not long, but hopefully we can cure a lot of people, and one every hour of every day is committing suicide. Every hour.
You save one soldier, it's worth it.
About 8,000 guys
Amen.
a year. That's being reported. There's certain states not reporting.
California,
Texas, Illinois,
Yeah.
not in those numbers. And again, the money's raised from these ticket sales stays in Arizona. It's going to be right here for these guys. And the other states that we're going to do, they can keep that money in their state. So,
Roger, how are you going to administer that money in the state? Do you know yet?
Implementation Chain, which is Crisis Hotline Intervention Network, and then the Veterans Anonymous to get this to where every church, hopefully we can tag on Alcoholics Anonymous with the Veterans Anonymous right where they are, and that's through Veterans Helping Vets. That part of that, if the more you help somebody, the more you heal yourself.
You might want to check out Celebrate Recovery. We'll talk about that when we're finished.
Yeah, any ideas you got? Because the guys need to be able to go and get help right away and now. So on June 1st, that thing will blow open, and I hope, and pray that these vets will come out and help themselves, help these other guys, man. You know.
Veterans helping veterans.
Yeah, saving ourselves. SOS, basically saving ourselves.
We have met the enemy, and it's us.
Yeah,
in a lot of cases.
we think the answer's blowing in the wind here, so hopefully this will happen and start it here. So
great.
And then all the events are on the webpage about all the stuff, including the ticket. There's tons of stuff to do, from horseback riding to magicians to zip lining to rock
Hot
crawling
air,
and
cars.
hot air balloons. There's there's just a ton of stuff for these guys to do all day long and all night long. I mean, so. And right across the streets of Manziel Casino, so if they want to.
Which has been awesome to us.
Yeah.
Yeah, they opened their arms up and were just awesome. I can't tell
I'm
you
getting
how
calls from
nice they
Tucson
were.
already. People want to come up, just folks want to come up. And,
Sure.
It's no one under 18, but because there's going to be, beer there and
I
stuff.
get
So
it,
we got
yeah.
to be a little careful with that.
What are you doing for security?
Well, he's the head of a big
In the
security
back,
company.
he's
yeah.
got security companies.
Payson wants us to make sure, everyone's taken care of. So we've got that handled.
We've got local police, but we're going to be layered. We'll have the private security. Dwayne here in the room with us has security companies, California, Texas, and other
Great.
states, and Arizona. And him and I have done this sort of stuff. You don't even know my background. I did the 84 Olympic security.
Nice.
So I've got a little background in that sort of
You're
stuff.
kind of like a bad rash. You've just been all over the place.
He's amazing. He really is,
Yeah.
and he doesn't stop. Raises money for Boy Scouts. Just an amazing man, Camp. Really, truly is an inspirational guy for me.
Well, unfortunately, I'm on first name basis with a couple of those cops up there and a couple of the deputy sheriffs from Healy County.
Yeah.
See, you're the one doing the donut jokes.
Yeah, oh, man. Yeah, that is
Dunkin' Donut, now I hear it is. Dunkin' Donut.
Yeah, Dunkin'. Dunkin'. Yep.
And again, thank you so much. This will hopefully help us out and get some.
You know, I hope so. Doug's already got you up on the website. There'll be pictures posted before I get to the donut shop again and today. And we'll put the word out. I know Don Ortiz is big on publicizing the events that he interacts, and I know his heart is into this event. And between John and I, we'll get the word out. And any camping opportunities at the casino? I know they have motorhome
all you have to do
spots.
is go north on the B line just outside of Payson, and there's tremendous opportunities for camping all up and down there. I mean, there's so many areas on the Verde River area that you can go camping as well.
Yeah, but doesn't Madisville have motorhome hookups?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely. That whole
Right
west end of their
across the
lot.
street, you can see the event right from the parking. I was up there on the thing earlier this week. It's amazing, the view. And we'll be getting
I've
pictures
sat
up.
on top of motorhomes and watched events on the other side of the B line at night on occasions.
That's an inside tip.
Yeah, we call that spying, John.
No, we don't. No, spotting.
Spotting.
But at the site, again, real quick, they've got camping at the site and RVing and everything else. So you can camp there and check in at 12, check out at 12, or spend the weekend, whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
So.
And we're going to have a great time, just like Woodstock, but leave your M14 at home.
No wood stocks. Synthetic stocks, okay?
Yeah, just leave the... Thank you.
I'm just saying.
Receiver.
Okay, Fishing for the Cure, Tracy and Gary Russo. Next Saturday, Saguaro Lake. Support them if you can. Cast for Kids is at the 10 lane at Lake Pleasant. Support them if you can, one or the other. And that's about it. We're going to get this thing wrapped up and get out of here.
What? I didn't do it. I'm going hiking. Leave me alone.
All righty, hey, here's the deal. Take your kids fishing, hug your bass boat, and we are out of here.
Semper Fidelis.